everybody, it's John, your Indian Cine-MANIAC, with another 10ish-minute review. We took a little break from the viewer poll, and I did Fighter last time. So I'm getting back to the last film off my viewer poll, which I asked for a film in the last 2 years. And originally I thought it was Badhaai Ho, which I did a review on, but it was actually Badhaai Do, which is Give Congratulations. So that's the film that I'm going to review, 2022's Badhaai Do. Okay, before I start, I didn't know. I try not to read anything about the movies before I watch them. So I didn't know what this movie is about. And after seeing it, I feel like I have to preface this review because I know people are passionate about this subject. And the film is about gay and lesbians hiding themselves, gay marriage, that kind of stuff. So I just want to say this up front before I do the review. These, I'm not a big fan of these movies with that plot line, where the main thrust of the plot is gay or lesbian. It's just the way I've always been. I have trouble relating to it. I'm not invested in the topic. I wish everybody to be happy and whatever makes you happy, but it's not movies that I want to watch. I'm just telling you that up front. So part of that colors my reviews of this type of movie. Okay? I got that out of the way. Now you can hate me, you can unsubscribe me, whatever you want. I'm just being honest with you. That's how I feel about it. Okay. So this is Badhaai Do, directed by Harshavardhan Kulkarni. I'm not familiar with any of their work. It stars Rajkummar Rao, who I've seen in Queen and Stree. I really liked him in Stree. Bhumi Pednekar, or Pednekar, I don't think I've ever seen before. Seema Pawa, Chum Darang, who again, other than Raj Kumar, I don't think I've seen most of the actors in this, except for Sheeba Chaddha, who I just saw in Badhaai Ho. So I did recognize her. So basically, the story is you've got two lead characters, Shardul and Sumi, in their 30s, unmarried, both in the closet. And they make the decision because their families are trying to marry them off. And they can't understand why they're not married yet because they haven't come out to their families. So they decide we'll do a marriage of convenience. I think they call it a lavender marriage. I think that's what I read. I never heard that term before. So what they're going to do is they're going to get married, live together, separate bedrooms, right? Still do whatever they want to do. He's got a guy that he's with. She's looking to find a girl that she can be interested in. And then they're just going to pretend to be married to fool all their family and the police. He's a cop. Now he works in a woman police station. Is that a thing in India that they separate the men and the women in law enforcement? Because in all the movies I've seen, women have been in the police also. So that was something I hadn't seen before. And so through the course of the film, they each meet significant others. He meets this one guy at the beginning who's this young kid who ends up dumping him. And then he meets another guy, an older guy, a lawyer, where he blows on his face, fall in love. She's bringing a stool sample of her father to this hospital, clinic, whatever. And Rin Jim behind the counter is taking the poop sample, and they fall in love through the magic of poop samples. So now Rim Jim moves in with them. And this, okay, I'll get to that. So now they're living in the U.S. We call that Three's Company. Come and knock on a door. If you're not familiar with that show, it's a guy who lives with two girls. Except in the TV show, he wants to sleep with both of them. Not, it wasn't the whole gay thing. Okay. So now the story, and it was funny, I have to say. They're trying to hide it from everybody, including he moves into this apartment complex or whatever that's for the police. So his boss lives uh, above them, I think, or below them. I don't know, one floor up or down. So they're trying to hide it from them too. So then they go to the family, and the family wants to know why they're not pregnant yet. And he says, well, she's barren, she can't have kids, and that all comes out. So they take her shopping to a hospital where she does a urine test, which shows that she can get pregnant. So she says he's impotent, or he can't. His gun only shoots blanks, is how I think she worded it. Okay, so they can't have a baby, but now they're talking about adopting. So ultimately, what ends up happening is the Shardul's mother walks in on Sumi and Rimjim in bed, and she knows that she's a lesbian, but they still don't know that he's gay. So there's a scene with the mother, with Sumi and her family, and the way they shot this. And the question I have for you about this is it really like that, where if someone came out gay, it would be so devastating to the family? I'm asking because I really don't know, because that's how they play it in this film, and I'm a little surprised at this day and age that that would still be that big an issue, because the scene they shoot where she comes out to them, it's shot like dark and very serious. And at one point, the father leaves, and she goes to where the father's, and he says, "Why did this happen to us?" Like that kind of devastation. And ultimately, he comes out to his family. And again, the way they do it, it was not shot as dark, but he's sitting on a chair, and the whole family's around him, and he's explaining it. If you think she's a freak, then I'm a freak too. And he tells them that he's gay. Um, and the looks on their faces again show, although the mother, I didn't quite get that vibe from her. In fact, he goes up on the roof and starts, he calls Sumi and says, "I just told everybody," and she comes up and consoles him, which I thought was a really nice scene. And ultimately, everything does work out. They adopt a baby, and Rim Jim is going to be a mother, and his new boyfriend isn't going to be a father, but they have him in a position at the ceremony for the baby where he's sitting right next to him, and everyone seems to be okay with it. And there's one scene that obviously was a metaphor, but there's a gay parade, and it's towards the end of the film where um, he, the cop, Shardul, is on the side of the road, and the parade's coming by him, and Sumi and Rim Jim are there, and his boyfriend. I don't know his boyfriend's name, but his boyfriend's there too, walking by, and they're kind of waving him on, and he got all his cops behind him. And somebody walks up to him wearing a gay pride mask, and he takes the mask off of them and is looking at it. And you knew exactly what was going to happen. Well, what he does is he puts the mask on and gets with the parade. So by putting the mask on, Shardul was taking his mask off and letting the world know who he was. And that was the story. And again, it's not my cup of tea. It's just not. But I'll give the story a three. I found it interesting, and I could understand if you were a gay person in India or a gay person anywhere who maybe had difficulty coming out and went through this. I could see where this would be, this could be cathartic. This could be a pretty big thing for you. But cinematically, storyline wise, you know, I didn't buy it. I didn't buy that they could try to fool everybody, including having the girl move in with them. I didn't buy that. I also didn't buy that he fell in love with this guy. Okay, he's got all the cops behind him. Nobody knows he's gay. No one knows he's gay, right? Because he's been hiding it from him. And are you drunk? And he goes, no. And instead of blowing into his hand, the guy blows into his face in beautiful slow motion. And then he does this. Now he's in love with the guy. Okay, I didn't buy that either. I didn't buy how quickly Sumi fell in love with Rim Jim either. I mean, one visit into the nurse's office, and apparently she's got gaydar. She knew that this nurse was gay by just handing her the bowl. And one other time. So I don't know if I bought that either. But I mean, I'll give the story a three because I could see where it could have an impact on people. Now, I will give the performances a definite four because the two leads, actually, you know what? Not just the two leads. I, I thought they were. I thought the performances, for the most part, there was. It's a comedy, so there were some silly things in it, but for the most part, dealing with the subject matter, I thought they were real. And again, I don't know anything about Indians' culture and how they feel about this, but the not the like when the families got together in the comedy parts, that was funny. They were overbearing, they were kind of goofy. But when they came out to them and their reaction to that, again, that seemed genuine to me. Those seemed like real emotions. Not knowing the culture, but thinking that is what it could be like. So I'm going to give the performances a four. The music, I guess I'll give it a three because there wasn't a lot of songs, but like see that there's some things that just make you a little uncomfortable. Me uncomfortable. Okay, it just does. And if that makes me a bad person, I'm sorry. But they did a song at the wedding, which I liked. But then the second song was on the honeymoon, Sumi and Shardul's pretend honeymoon, and they Kabir, his boyfriend, comes to the honeymoon because they have separate rooms. And then the song is a love song about their relationship while Sumi is just kind of walking around by herself. They're in the pool, they're doing all this stuff. It wasn't like they were kissing or anything, but it was just, it went on a long time. The third song was about Sumi and Rim Jim's attraction. And the fourth song was a love song about their lesbian relationship. And that went on for a long time too. Okay. So those really were the songs. So, I, none of them stood out for me. Some of them made me a little, so I guess I'll give the songs, I'll give them a two. Um, Overall, I'm going to give the movie a three because I thought the performances kind of carried the day in this film, and they're when they came out and their family kind of rebuffed them, their genuine reactions to feeling when the father said, "Why is this happening to us?" and she just starts crying. It was just such a and it was just heartfelt and genuine, and I really liked the performances, and that for me is why I'll give it a three. I got to tell you, Badhaai Ho, because this is supposed to be somehow related to this in some way, but I love Badhaai Ho. I loved that movie way more than this movie. But again, the performances to me carried the day. Let me know what you think. I hope I didn't offend anybody. I don't want to offend anybody. I want everyone to be happy. I'm just telling you, some movies I like, some movies I just don't. And I like this more than I thought I would as the movie progressed, but there were still things in it that I just, that's it. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section. I appreciate you guys watching. I don't know what the next film is going to be. I am going to watch a couple of TV shows. I don't know if I'm going to review them though, because you guys don't seem to have interest in me reviewing them, which is fine. But I think I'll watch them anyway because other than the horrific ending to Sacred Games, I really like Sacred Games, and I love Mirzapur. So we'll I'm not sure what we're going to do next. But anyway, I thank you guys for watching. As always, I really do appreciate you guys taking the time and leaving feedback. So we will talk to you soon with another 10-minute review. Thanks, everyone.